So, about that first girl chat video.
You laid your life on the cross just to save me. I fell 100 times, committed 100 crimes, but you still laid your life on me. Can't wait to see you face in paradise. Look in your eyes, see what I've been searching for all my life. 'Cause I've been searching for it.
What's up, y'all? So I wanted to show you guys a summer makeup routine, especially because it's hot outside but you still want that full beat, but just a different way that is less product and also way faster, especially on if you want a time crunch, because ladies, you know how we get, and then when we be trying to rush to do our makeup, you don't even gotta worry about that. This can honestly take you a good 20 minutes if you move fast, don't be distracted. Because sometimes, you know how we get ready with our music on and it makes us go slower. If you lock in, you can get your makeup done in time, give that full beat look with less product. So let me show you how to do it while we get to chit chatting. So let's get into it. Okay, I did my brows off camera, so now we about to get into the look. First and foremost, I did get a little darker. I do have a darker shade. I just don't feel like going to my makeup kit to go get it. So when you don't have your perfect shade match, whether it's you don't have the summer color or you just don't have a perfect match, this is what you can do as well. So I'm going to kind of do like an underpainting technique. I don't usually use contour shades. I am a bronze girly through and through, but because I did get a little bit darker, my bronzer is very warm and has a lot of kind of red undertones, so it won't necessarily give me shade darker of a look that I need, since I don't have my actual foundation shade. The foundation I usually use is Spice Rum by Too Faced, but it's just a tad bit, a smidge too light. So to make that balance, I go in with a contour shade. If you are around my complexion, I'm using Rich Ebony, the Hydrating Elf Cameo Concealer. I've been doing makeup for a long time. I mix and match hydrating and matte. I just know what works for me, but I'm doing all this talking. I forgot to put on some primer. Give me a second. I'm not gonna also do much talking as far as explaining what I'm doing. I'm just hoping that y'all just watch what I'm doing and learn that way so that we can get into the conversation. So after I don't know if y'all seen, if you're watching this video, but my first girl chat video, it was a lot going on. There was a lot of emotions and a lot has happened since then. If you are watching this, I'ma just insert this clip. Don't blend out anything yet. Put everything on your face first, then blend it out. But I was too busy talking and I forgot the steps. So yeah. With all that being said, I've been able to do a good amount of just reflection since then, and probably since like 2023 I've been learning to set boundaries for myself, but also make sure I follow through with those boundaries. And mind you, sometime after the whole situation that was going on with said people that I mentioned in the first girl chat, like I mentioned in the video, I am not in communication with either of them any longer at this current moment. I'm not in communication. Am I mad at them or anything? No. Disappointed, kind of, for one. The other, not so much. But at the same time, I feel like this comes into like boundaries that I just have for myself, and like standards that I have and that I want to set for myself and uphold, and just not let those boundaries get respected, because if I don't respect my own boundaries, then how can I expect for someone else to not break those boundaries or do things disrespectful if I low-key tolerate the disrespect? So with all of that being said, a couple people recently have asked me on the topic of dating, like, am I dating and things of that nature. It's just like, are you dating? Are you not dating? Are you, like, just questions just like, am I dating? And I'm not dating, but I'm not opposed to dating. So they'll be like, are you dating? Are you open to dating? And it's just like, I'm not currently dating, but I'm not opposed to dating either. I'm just not currently dating somebody. And me, I believe that dating is basically like the talking stage. So when I say date to marry, I'm not looking at every single person that I am dating like, oh, this is my husband. But the dating portion is me getting to know you, talking to you. You know, we may go on dates, we talk and communicate to see, are you a good fit for me? Am I a good fit for you? And then once we do that and we pray to the Lord and we ask God, like, is this, you know, my person, and he responds to us, then that's when we can go in our courting phase. That's how I look at it. I know everybody has their own different definitions of courting, but I feel like courting is when you know that's your person. Dating is you're trying to figure it out. I usually don't add this contour thing to my nose, but I just wanted to be doing the most today, and I kind of remember why I don't do that, because I like to contour my nose in a certain way, and that's just not eating. Y'all, I didn't mean to do that. That's why sometimes I can't talk. I didn't mean to blend that out yet. When I start, I didn't mean to do that yet. Usually I put everything on my face at once, and then I blend it out at the same time. So anyway, back to the combo. So I forgot where I left off, but yeah, that's how I look at dating and courting, in my opinion. With all of that being said, sometime after that whole situation where I had blocked them and all of that stuff, I was reading in Proverbs 31 to be exact, and I was reading in Proverbs of just like what a Proverbs 31 woman is. Not even a Proverbs 31 woman, but what is a virtuous woman? What is a virtuous wife? What does that look like? And I was just reading the attributes of a virtuous woman, what that looks like. How does she act? What are the attributes of her husband? Like, what does that all look like? What does it entail? So I was reading that, and as I'm reading it, I was beginning to see like, okay, some of these attributes that this virtual woman has, I do have those attributes and those qualities. Some I don't have them at all, and some needs to be worked on. And one of the things that I realized is that it says a virtuous woman's worth is far above a ruby, and God also compares women to like wisdom. And with all of that being said, there is a scripture, I think it is in, I should know this, I think it's in 2 Corinthians or it's in Galatians. I might be getting them confused. I think it's in one of them. When I find it, I'm gonna put it on the screen. But it's mentioning grace and how people abuse God's grace. And in the verse, well, in that chapter, but in these particular couple of verses, it mentions how people treat the blood of Christ like a common thing. Like it's just anything to be used and abused, but it's not really handled with care. It's kind of just disregarded, and people just be like, oh well, I'm saved by grace, I'm saved by the blood, and they think they can still live in sin, but the Bible says otherwise. And God is like, no, you cannot do that. That's not the case, because if you continue to willingly live in sin knowing that you are sinning, then there's no longer any sacrifice for you. But I will always gravitate towards the verse that talks about treating the blood of Christ and what he did as a common thing. And I was able to relate to that when I was reading in Proverbs, because I'm just like, when it comes to men and just these situations in particular, it's like I just feel like low-key I be getting treated like a daggone common thing, like just anything to just brush off to the side with no care in the world of like my feelings. And I be feeling like I be so caring and considerate of other people's feelings, but it's just not truly reciprocated when it comes to me, basically. And when I was reading in Proverbs, it was saying that how a virtuous woman in Hebrew means strength, might, efficiency, wealth, army, man of valor, power, and substance. And after reading that, it's like a virtuous woman does not tolerate no type of disrespect from anybody, and just looking like a virtuous woman knows her boundaries, and she has high respect for herself and expects people to treat her with respect. And if they don't, she know when it's time to remove herself or, you know, distance herself from those people and just do the necessary things that need to be done, so that not only her boundaries be respected, but she can also just respect her peace. And I feel like that is something that I kind of lack in that area. And like I was saying in the end of that first girl chat video, is that I be thinking like it's me giving people grace, and I had to sit there and ask myself and talk to the Lord, like, is that even grace that I'm giving, or am I making excuses? Because there is a fine line between the two. Like, yes, we give people grace, but it's just like also learning like I can love people from a distance. And I feel like sometimes I struggle with that with friendships and with just romantic, you know, partners and encounters. And it's just something that I'm still trying to learn to do in my 27 years of living. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I was just reading all of that, and I'm just like, I do desire a husband, like I truly do, but I just really feel like in this season, in this time in my life, and especially all the things that have been going on in my life, a husband is not my focus. And I also don't necessarily feel like I am like truly ready to entertain somebody. Like, I don't feel like I have the capacity right now as much as I desire it. But if I'm being honest with myself and knowing the things that I do still need work on, and I'm not expecting to be like fully together and perfect when it is that time for me and my husband that the Lord has for me, for us to connect. Like, I don't expect to be perfect, but I expect to be like having the highest regard and respect for myself, and walking away when disrespect is there, or just not the standards that I have for myself, or that I have for the man that I desire. If it's not their core things, then like I leave and walk away and not entertain it, hoping for a different outcome to get my feelings hurt. And if I'm being honest, I feel like I do make excuses for people all of the time, because I really am, I feel like, so forgiving, and I do have a big heart, but I feel like I have to set boundaries for myself. And like, yes, you can give people grace, but it's like, I don't feel like I need to repeat myself. And the reason why I feel like I struggle with that is because I know that when it comes to us, God repeats himself a lot of the times, and he extends us so much mercy and grace. And I feel like I be trying to do that with other people, but it's just like, I gotta remember God does that for us for a whole different reason. And it's like, I can still forgive and show mercy, but distance myself if people are literally showing over and over and over again that like they just don't have respect for me, and maybe they feel like what they're doing is respectful, but I don't see how. Or maybe they don't truly see like an issue with what they do and their actions. But it's like, if I'm somebody that I feel like I'm pretty vocal, and I will let you know immediately if something like bothered me or hurt my feelings. And it's like, now that you know, I'm hoping that you don't hurt my feelings again. And usually sometimes people, they may do and they repeat it, and it's like, okay, I give them grace because I'm like, you know, maybe, well, no, I'm just trying to give them time to change and get it correct and be like, I told you I don't like this. So I feel like with that, I do extend grace. Let's say if they do it again, because everybody not perfect, they could have forgotten, and I don't know, maybe that is something that's just a part of their character and they're used to doing it. So it is something that they have to learn to not do, at least in regards to me. What you do with other people ain't none of my business, but when it comes to me, if I tell you I don't like that or it hurt my feelings or whatever the case, I'm expecting you to follow suit. You feel me? But I do feel like I do give that grace, that if they do it again and maybe even again, that I low-key let it slide. I let it slide, but I note that, like, I'm making a note of that. But I feel like my problem is I make too many notes, and it's like it no longer becomes grace, but it low-key becomes like an excuse, because I may want said person just in my life. And I've even done that with friendships. But again, I am such a very forgiving person, but it's just me learning just boundaries for myself and not feeling bad if me cutting somebody off or distancing myself makes them upset or hurts their feelings. Because it's like, bro, I told you was tea and you not listening, you're not picking it up, it's not clocking to you, and you're hurting me in the process, and I'm getting hurt in the process of you trying to get it right. So I'm just learning to like being able to walk away and distance myself and allow you to get together what you need to get together, allow you to heal and get it right, so that we can be back in contact. But it's like, if you don't get that together, and that's just not something that like you can work on or fix in regards and pertains to me, then we just simply can't be in each other's lives. And I feel like with at least the situations in particular from the first girl chat, it's like a communication thing. And also at the same time, I just being able to reflect, I'm just like, I just don't think the Lord wanted those particular people in my life at this moment for whatever the case may be. Because it's just like, there's no way on this planet that the way these people just ignored me and like low-key ghosted me, there's no way. Like, I never experienced this kind of things happening really until, or at least noticing and paying attention to it until like I gave my life to Christ, where this ghosting thing started happening. But it's like, there's no way that you think that's respectful, or going hours and hours. Like, are you insane? That's what I be wanting to ask people. Like, are you insane? Are you delusional? Have you lost your mind? That's what I be wanting to say. Like, that's just, to me, is so disrespectful. Like, there are just some things that's so disrespectful. And at first, I feel like I was making an excuse for it, because for one of the people, for example, he let me know, my homeboy, he was like, oh, you know, I'm such a bad communicator, and that's like his favorite excuse. But I'm just like, bro, like, okay, you're a bad communicator, but you need to fix that, because how can a friendship truly really grow? Like, how can we grow our friendship if you take eons to respond? And it's just like, if I'm trying to ask you for something, or ask you even for advice about something, you take forever to respond, and at that point I no longer need you, and it just gets irritating over and over again, because it's just like, you're really blowing my stuff. Like, and I just think it's disrespectful, because nobody is that busy. It is so funny, because when I tell people I'm so observant, like when people first meet me, I am extremely quiet, because I am so like observant, and I'm so observant to the point I could make you think I'm not paying attention, but I'm actually paying attention. Like, and I pay attention to people, because it's like, I hold people to their words and what they say. So it's like, if you tell me that you ignore everybody, or you don't be texting nobody back, or you never on your phone, but I peep you on your phone or social media, or when we in person, people calling your phone, you is picking up the phone, you on the phone, I see you texting, I see you texting people back. I pay attention to that stuff, and I know that I'm like, okay, so you're a liar. Now I have to mark you as a liar, and you're lying to me, you're bull stuffing me. And if you know me, you know, one of my pet peeves, like the highest, is when people lie and when people bull stuff me. Because I feel like, for one, why are you lying to me? There's no reason for you to lie to me. And sometimes, depending on what the lie is, it's like you're taking away my choice and my decision to act on whatever it is that you lied about, whether I need to walk away or stay. You're taking that choice and that control away from me. Then number two, when you bull stuff me, it's like you're wasting my time, low key. And I don't like to feel like my time, I don't like to feel like my time has been wasted, or that I've been played with, because I feel like, all right, now you playing in my face, and you trying to like low-key make it seem like I'm a dummy. And it's like, whole time when I'm addressing the situation, and you're trying to make it seem like it's not something that it actually is, and you making it seem like I'm tripping, whole time I'm not tripping. It's like, when people make me feel like I'm delusional, that also heats me up as well, because it's like, I know I'm not delusional, I know I'm not tripping, I know that what I'm asking for is not for you to like, I'm not asking you to run a marathon, I'm just asking you to be a decent person, have common courtesy. But I guess everybody don't have common courtesy. And I also feel like one of the issues is because I be wanting to try and fix or help people fix their problems, or help them heal, or just help them to be better. But it's like I become the punching bag or the doormat in the process, and it's like I'm allowing you to do all of this to me in hopes that you become a better person. And it's like, respectfully, no, it never gave that, and that's just simply not my job. But it's like I blur the lines between like helping people but also not tolerating disrespect, and giving grace and mercy but not turning grace and mercy into an excuse for people to like disrespect me or step over my boundaries, things like that. And it's like, when I'm reading Proverbs 31 and I'm reading these attributes in a woman that I pray and desire to be, and I'm just like, a Proverbs 30 woman, she don't get treated like that, and that's not how I desire to be treated, respectfully. Like, I don't desire to be treated like that. I don't desire for people to just think they can just play on my top like that, think you can just ghost me and I'ma just be there for you and you never there for me. Like, it never gave that. You're not just going to be coming in my life when you choose, when you want to, because you know I'm going to be here, because you know that I have a big heart, because you know that I am forgiving. I truly am. Like, I am somebody that can let things go pretty easily for the most part. I really can. And it's like, people be knowing that and they think it's sweet, and it's like, why do you think it's still sweet after I done told you multiple times this is something that I don't like? You keep doing it, and then you try to come and act like there's not an issue. They will come back and just like text me out the blue like it's not an issue. Why do you think it's no smoke between the two of us? Because it's big smoke, all the smoke. Like, and it's like they do it because I never truly walk away and I keep allowing it. So it's like, I can't even necessarily be mad at them, because if you respected your own boundaries and your own self, they wouldn't be treating you this way. They wouldn't even be able to play in your face this way. The first time that they do it, you would walk away, or at least let them know, like, I'm not playing with you at all. Do I look like a PlayStation, an Xbox to be played with, honey? No. And being real, I know that I deserve the utmost respect, and I think it just be hurting too, because it's just like, if I'm not doing you like that, why are you doing me like that? And especially like if we have just history, or just even building a relationship, like, why are you doing that? But I feel like the good thing I'm learning, like even with that situation, the Lord can speak through everything and just even help me realize and just put a mirror up to myself. It's just like some of the ways that I dislike being treated, I believe the Lord was showing me, but and was like, but this is how you treat me though, so how you mad at them for treating you a certain way and you treating me like this though? Like, you know what I'm saying? So listen, the Lord can always get the glory out of everything, okay, as he should. So honestly, ladies, my advice, and I actually hope that I take my own this time as well, is number one, don't awaken love before it's time. Definitely don't entertain non-believers. Just don't do it. I don't know how many times I gotta tell myself that, but just don't, please. Save yourself the time, the irritation, the sadness, the feelings getting hurt. Save yourself that. And also making sure that before you enter into a relationship, or even think about or consider dating, make sure that you are properly healed yourself, and that you do have boundaries and standards that you have set, that you also uphold for yourself and that you follow. Because what I just realized after I was just sitting here doing my lip liner off camera and just pondering on everything, it's just like, the more that I don't uphold my own standards and keep letting my boundaries get disrespected, I'm not truly noticing and understanding how much it is affecting me and how much it is hurting me, because it is just chipping away and breaking down my own self-respect and me truly knowing my worth and walking in my worth and me knowing my worth. Like, it is actually causing trauma that either was never there, or like it's causing a trauma, like it's causing an issue that wasn't there, because I'm just constantly letting people abuse me when I shouldn't. And it's like, you don't want that to happen, because if you constantly keep going to things or people that is hurting you, that wound is going to get deeper and deeper. First of all, you letting a wound get open, and then you're letting it get cut deeper and deeper to a point that it is now traumatizing. That's what has low-key happened, and that will affect you moving forward when it comes to the person that Christ actually has for you, or just trying to build new friendships in general. You are letting a trauma be built up by you not respecting your own boundaries and your self-worth, because it is diminishing the more that you let people disrespect you, and the more you keep trying to make excuses for these people. You are hurting yourself in the process. Some people you truly just have to give to God, lay it at his feet and be like, you know what, hey man, say man, I tried. A Drake song, a lyric popped in my head. I tried with you. It's more to like, see, I can't even sing that song. Oh, forgive me. But it's like, I try with you, it's not working, you're not listening to what I'm saying, and you're still disrespecting me. You hurting my feelings, and this is truly hurting my feelings, so I gotta walk away, pray for you, and let Jesus handle that. That's what you gotta start doing. That's what I gotta start doing. That's what we gotta start doing, okay? So with all of that being said, ladies, my focus is Christ, and just I know that if I am a good daughter to Christ, that everything else, I will be good. I will be a good wife, I will be a good earthly daughter, I will be a good friend. If I'm good to the Lord, everything else will fall in place how it needs to fall in place, exactly when it needs to. So with all that being said, like, yeah, I'm just focusing on the Lord and just doing what he has called me to do, and also achieving the things that I set out to achieve, that I want to do for myself, and like the goals that I have, the desires, and just being able to accomplish some of those things. And I just personally feel like a man at this moment is just a distraction, or at least the ones that I was entertaining was just distractions. And just I'm not trying to be distracted by no friends that's just doing too much, or men that just be doing too much, that just causes any stress or anything stress that I could currently have to spike if you disrupted my peace. I'm just not trying to be into all that. So that's just how I feel. And yeah, so I thank y'all for listening to this girl chats. Okay. And I thank y'all so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and see y'all in my next video.
Father, wrap your arms around me and don't let me go. Father, please don't let me go, because I need you with me. I know you won't never forsake me, and you stepping with me. Lord, I repent of all my sins, I'm praying you forgive me. I watched my mama